Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Can I get a one if you can hear me on this beautiful Taco Tuesday? Because it's Taco Tuesday. Absolutely, dust free black woman. That's what's up. I appreciate that, Tayana. Oh, y'all hit me with the one. So that means I sound amazing. I'm doing fucking amazing today. Ladies, let me give my shout outs. First of all, shout out to everybody that's here. Beautiful Stranger is here. Nobing Hagen is here. Snapple Apple is here. V in Training is up in this motherfucker. Divested Beauty. The Riddler is here. How are you doing, the Riddler? Okay. Listen, hey Mina, how are you? Poison Ivy, who, me, all y'all up in here. Now, I ladies, they are getting desperate as fuck. And who am I talking about right now? The mammies. Well, they've always fearmongered you ladies from leaving the black community. They've always made up these weird ass, stories and statements and talked about Jim Crow and anytime you with somebody other than a black man, you are engaging in slave play. You are a bedwench. You all this bullshit. Okay, but now they've steeped to a brand new low. Okay, you know that we're always talking about domestic violence and black femicide. In these relationships. Um, I'm sort of embarrassed at the low they've gone to. They've resorted to basically rewriting what's actually happening with black women. around the world, no less, to make it seem like the very first time, or whenever you decide to leave the black community, you're going to get fucked up and unalived, you know. I thought they waited patiently for when black women were taken out by white men, but it happened so infrequently that they've resorted to making up stories. Okay. Y'all won't be confused in a second. This is an all new low. And I had to make this Taco Tuesday a smoke night because this is ridiculous. You're playing with people's lives, real lives. There's enough awful shit that goes on in the world for you to talk about. But when you sit up here and make up something, I just, I was talking to Aaliyah and I said, tonight we're gonna go over. Wait. Let me get the story straight. The other day we were talking and she asked me what we was talking about on Tuesday. And I said, from what I understand, there is a white man that unalived his girlfriend in the UK. Okay. They're always talking about, they pretend like this happens all the time. And I said, well, we're going to talk about him. And then we're going to also talk about the women that were unalived by black males. And we're going to shorten it down to just this month alone, based on reporting date. I'm talking about November 2022. Y'all, I still have shit in my inbox because there were women that were murked today that didn't make this list. But there's so many black women taken out by black males that we don't have. I don't do 6-hour lives. I don't. And I'm not sure whether 6 hours would be enough to just cover November alone. Okay, let me pull up my screen so I can show y'all who and what they did. And it's real foul. If y'all wasn't scared of mammies before, get your freak on, because you fixing to be scared as fuck. I can't believe they disrespected this woman's death like this. Hold on a second. I'm having a little bit of technical issues, but we fixing to get that shit popping. I can't wait. I'm interested in the comments tonight. I'm always looking at you guys' comments, and I don't see all of them, but I do what I can. But I'm going to try to pay more attention tonight because this is ridiculous. Okay, let's go and share, because this is insane. And if you know any better, you better get your ass away from these people. Okay, this right here. I want y'all to take a look at that picture right there. Now, apparently in some divested private spaces, I'll just say, you got your infiltrators, your mammies, people that pretend to be black women and they're actually black men. You got people just infiltrate because they're interested in what the fuck's going on behind paywalls, private spaces, small groups or whatever. But apparently in a divested group, private space, paywall, whatever, there was trying to be very careful, there was a black woman, a mammy, right? She brought this story up with these two people. Now, these two people, they're from the UK, right? Nottingham, England, to be exact. Well, his name is Jamie Barrows. He's 31 years old. And this lady on the right, her name is Fatumata, right? Haidara. She's 28. Well, Haidara is no longer with us, okay? Well, the mammy in the group, she went on ahead and said that Jamie on the left was in a relationship with Haidara, and he burned the house down, killing her and her 2 children. Now, let me look at these comments. I just want to stop right there for a second because I want to see what y'all are saying concerning this pic, concerning that story I just gave y'all, and what the fuck's going on here. Let me look. Come on, StreamYards, because this is rather important. Y'all better get these mammies out your life. Somebody says she's beautiful. R.I.P. beautiful. Yes, R.I.P. to her. She's no longer here. Okay. He looks slow and dusty. Okay. Let's see. She's gorgeous. Got y'all. Okay. Well, come to find out, these 2 people were not in a relationship. They were not together. Okay. Who she actually was with is this man. That's her. And I've covered up the faces of her 2 children. Her and the kids are no longer here. Let's go back up and let me tell you what actually happened. Well, Haidara and her family, her Dusty and her 2 babies, They were neighbors to Jamie. Okay. Well, Jamie apparently doesn't like them. Okay. Doesn't like the fact that they live there. I don't know what, the neighbor dynamic was, noise, fights, the neighbor thing. If y'all have ever seen the show Fear Thy Neighbor, you know what the fuck's happening here. Well, of course, with Blackistan, when people are of a different race, it's going to be automatic KKK racism, blah, blah, fucking blah. Okay. The story is like this. It's already bad enough that he burned that apartment down. That's bad enough. You could have went to your group, your area, mammy, and said, this white dude burned down this house where there was a black woman and two of her kids there. You could have did that. But that's not scary enough to get black women to not divest. What you have to say is her and him were in a relationship and all of a sudden he unalived her, because that's a little bit more scary. You'll make the average black woman a lot more apprehensive about divesting from Blackistan. So I see what you did there, right? My problem is you disrespected what actually happened to her. What actually happened to her was she was with this motherfucker here in the UK. They're from Africa, looking for a better life. Ain't that the story? A better way of life and a better future for their kids. And they were doing it in this man's country. Okay. They were also looking to move to America. Okay. That's why Dusty Daddy wasn't there. He claims that he was traveling, trying to score them some new digs so that they can move out of the UK. The fact that you tried to make this shit like it was interracial violence gone wrong, you motherfuckers are sick. You're sick. Let me go back and look at these comments because I just don't. I thought tonight we were going to be talking about the ratios of interracial violence versus intraracial violence in the black community versus, leaving the black community. But the fact that you had to make that shit up, that's ridiculous. Dust Free Black Woman, I don't know why you lost. They lied about these two people that you see on the screen being in a relationship. The lady on the right and her two kids, they're unalive because the dude on the left burnt down the building, right? But that's not her lover. That's not her significant other. That's not her boyfriend. They were trying to make it like they were in a relationship. They were not in a relationship, okay? Who's actually unaliving you in these domestic capacities is niggas. Mammies don't like that shit. They don't like how that sounds. It's making their family members look like trash. They daddies, they brothers. And let's just keep it real. The niggas that they're attracted to, that's making them look awful. So they've resorted to making up shit in order to make it seem like as soon as you leave the black community, somebody's going to fuck you up. Okay. Well, since you want to play that game, we're going to keep it all the way real tonight. For the month of November, let's see who actually was taking black women out. You dusty, funky bitches get on my nerves. You already were on my nerves, but the fact that you're willing to make a story up to make it seem like white men are killing black women all over the place. Last time I saw y'all, I was talking about the HIV situation because they was trying to make it seem like white boys just around here giving y'all HIV, right? We already addressed that, and make no mistake about it, motherfuckers. I'm not going to keep addressing white men do it too. I'm not. But I did these two shows back to back because I wanted to prove a point, and I'm not answering this shit no more. I don't want to hear about white men do it too because it is not. In comparison to what's actually happening to black women, you got me all the way fucked up. All the way fucked up. Okay? Let's see who actually is taking out black. By the way, Jamie's in jail. Jamie was not granted bond. Jamie's going to pay for what he did to that woman, her apartment, her children, and whoever else that affected. He's done for. Jamie is no more. The funny part about this shit is, though, the people that are making him pay for it, it ain't black folk. It's the same people that you're warning black women about. They are going to be the ones that have to deliver the consequences to Jamie. Ain't that a bitch? So you're good for nothing on top of everything with your lying ass. Well, let's scroll down a little bit here because we finna get it fucking popping. I ain't gonna talk about the difference in those two pictures, by the way. She was with a Dusty, so we already know why those pictures look different. Moving right along. Now, you want to talk about black women that were actually getting fucked up. and unalived. Y'all, this list does not include attempted murder. It doesn't include robberies. It doesn't include anything but relationship murders. Now, let me tell you this. I also omitted the niggas that was killing the preferences because they were there too. There were a lot of preferences and Becky's getting a shit split by these motherfucking niggas. Okay? But we're going to keep it, I guess, fair. I don't like that word. But we're going to keep it to domestic capacity. Black man on black woman unaliving. So let's fucking get it. This crocodile face motherfucker on the left, that's Ishmael Safford. He's 43. The lady on the right, her name was Yetunde Naples. She's 46. Well, while she was at home with her 6-year-old son, he blew her motherfucking ponytail holder off, and the little boy had to go to the neighbor and say, hey, she dead. That's all he said to the neighbor. She's dead. You go to these areas and make up this bullshit. Why don't you tell them what actually happened this month? We're not reaching back to 2018 and all that shit. We're talking about this fucking month. And there's still motherfuckers from my inbox from the 28th to today. Everybody didn't make the list. The people that were killed earlier this month, they didn't make the list either. It's too many of them. It's too many. There's not enough time to cover all these niggas taking out all these mammies. And you want to make some shit up, right? And you still made up part of the story with Lawrence Smith Fields. This is the last time I'm doing this shit with the white men do it too, because you bitches are goofy. You goofy as fuck. You know good and goddamn well who the problem is. Stop with your rallies. Stop with your let's increase the peace bullshit and all your little referendums. You won't admit who the problem is, so therefore you will always have problems. You funky bunion-toed bitch. Okay? She's gone. This was reported November 17th in the Orlando Sentinel because I don't want to hear, where's the link? Where's the link? Listen, go look. Go look. November 17th, Orlando Sentinel reported that Bobby Lee Story, this fuck-face fuck on the left, took out Denise Hayes. She's 41. Well, she was home with her 2 grandchildren and she was the primary caregiver for them when he did this shit. He blew her fucking wig off. Let me go back to these comments because I need this bullshit to stop. Ali, are you there?
Yes, I am. I mean, I think we have already established that there is no low that's too low for mammies, but I have always said that their obsession with swirlers and divestors and women who date out is unhealthy. I just don't understand their fascination with us, especially when it comes to those who date and marry the white man specifically. It seems like instead of them being somewhere happily in their black love relationships, they are determined to show us how horrible the white man is. And it's like nobody gives a fuck about what you're talking about. Why are you so concerned with what we're doing and who we're doing? I've always thought that it's something wrong with that picture. Their obsession is unhealthy and they are really fascinated with that. And I just don't get it. If you're so happy in your black love relationship and so many kings and so many unicorns, why are you so concerned with what the fuck we do and who the fuck we do? I mean that's what I'll never understand with these women. And then they cook up these goddamn stories and they know that shit don't compare. There is no comparison. White men are not unaliving black women every 5 hours. I think we all know who's doing that. But
Listen,
okay, but if it makes them feel good to cook up all these lies and shit, keep going. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
y'all was looking at that picture and I saw a couple of ladies in the comments saying, what Paw do? What Paw do? Well, I'm glad you asked what Paw did because it has no age range. Here's your 17-year-old. Hmm? Because I don't want to make it seem like just old niggas is bad. All niggas is bad. Okay? This little motherfucker here This was reported November 19th in Law and Crime. His name is Lorenzo Michael Larry. Okay. He's 17 years old and he shot 16-year-old DeShayla Ferguson because she was pregnant with his baby. The baby didn't make it either. Huh? The age range don't matter. This motherfucker here ain't old enough to buy a pack of goddamn cigarettes, but he's able to get motherfuckers pregnant and then unalive them because of it. At a young age, they already know that they don't want shit to do with you, and you sitting there begging and acting a fucking fool trying to get their attention. It doesn't matter if you're fat, skinny, light skinned, dark skinned, got a lot of money, college graduate, whatever. They don't like your monkey ass. Period. This girl is gone. Never ever had a chance to go to prom. Nobody told her don't fuck with niggas. At least I. What? If she saw all this shit, maybe she wouldn't have made that choice. But you know how it go, right? Everybody has to have a nigga. Everybody's attracted to their own race and all that shit. Bitches always around here hollering.
Okay, so I got a question that I feel like needs to be asked. Y'all don't be embarrassed to say y'all don't like black women. Like, what the fuck? Like,
No, ma'am. They're not embarrassed. And then you got bitches like,
I will choose a black man every time. Every damn time.
here's my problem. When you put it like that, I will choose a black man every time. Who's going to have to suffer those consequences, whore? It ain't us. I don't know why you keep thinking you sticking it to other black women by choosing black men. You're sticking it to yourself. It's the arrogance of it all. And y'all end up on these lists, young, old, fat, skinny, light, and dark. You just do. So much so that you sit up here making up stories about some interracial relationship that did not exist to make it seem like it's all good. How you doing, Miss Snapple Apple? Miss Snapple Apple, are you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. It's always gonna be the fake outrage for me, the fake outrage of Blackistan. Every time one of these rare stories come up, you will have every blog, every media Blackistan outlet. Oh my God, that's so messed up. Y'all need to be more careful. Meanwhile, they skipping over the damn 30 or so Black women that have been unalived by Tyrone and them. It's always that for me. Like it always pisses me off. Like I will never accept it. It's like, stop it with the fake outrage. You guys do not care about this woman who was unalive in the UK, just like you don't care about Lauren. They're still dragging that story, by the way. I follow a page on Instagram that posts like Black women stuff, and I seen it the other day. I said, "Oh my goodness!"
Because
Can you
they're
post somebody else?
starving. Snapple Apple and you ladies, they're starving for the next story. They have been holding on to this incident that hasn't been proved to be murder, by the way, right? They're holding on to that incident for dear life because the next one hasn't happened yet. So they're gonna have to keep saying, remember Lauren? Remember this? Remember them white boys? Remember they always do that shit. They are practically in withdrawal mode, waiting on the next thing to happen. So much so that they're making up fake relationships and pretending like some white dude off the black woman. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. What's going on, Ebony Phoenix?
Oh, everything's okay in my world. Hello, ladies on the panel. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
When you get to the point where you have to make it up, when you have to make up your own data, dang, they're desperate. They are desperate. Will always turn a blind eye to the 40 or 50 or 100 Black women who are being killed every day. So,
yeah, they'll skip right over that shit. They'll skip right over that shit.
Oh, of course, because that narrative, that community narrative, it doesn't fit that. The only reason they're doing this is because the mammies are trapped. Let's just be honest. They're really trapped. That's why they're mad at you, divested chicks or whatever you call yourself, sovereign. They're trapped. The mammies don't like being trapped in the tar pit quicksand by themselves.
Are they trapped though, Ebony?
They're trapped. They're trapped by their own stupidity.
Okay.
A
Okay.
lot of them are trapped. I mean, because they have babies by these niggas and they married to these niggas and they in long-term relationships with these niggas. So I
Everything
mean,
you
they
just
ain't going
listed,
nowhere.
everything you
It's
just
all
listed was
mental.
voluntary. Everything you just mentioned was voluntary. The baby, the
Yeah.
marriage, the all that shit is voluntary. So are they trapped? Or are
They're
they stupid
mentally
as fuck?
they're mentally trapped, right? So like you're saying, DZ, it's a they're mentally trapped in Blackistan because they're choosing to continue repeating the process. And because they don't have the ability or don't want to or whatever it is, so they don't want to get out for themselves, it turns into that weird like, when you're envious of someone who's doing what you want to do, but instead of wanting to aspire, you decide to just destroy them. It's that kind of relationship that's going on at this point. It's just
You always
they
put it
want to
so
do it, but they
eloquently. You always put it so eloquently. I'm like, fuck them bitches. Them bitches are stupid as fuck. That's the shit I'm on. I don't want to diagnose these hoes because they putting us in a situation that we can't even avoid. They are the ones that's out here acting a damn fool for these niggas, and every time somebody sees one of us, they think that we gonna act that same way. So we have to straighten this fucking situation out for our personal. You get what I'm saying? I can't with these bitches. I
But
can't.
back to being trapped. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your cousins and them who look at you and say, "Who does that so and so think she is?" Right? It's on the same line as that. Those women know. Okay, they don't have what it takes to divest anyway. Let's just keep
Mm.
it real. Okay, a lot of them don't have the brain power, the heart power, nothing. They're just trapped in a very clannish, strange community that's destroying them bit by bit, day by day, and destroying itself.
Mm.
So they're trapped in it. So hell yeah, they're gonna be mad at you people and me and everybody else if you don't want to be in the tar pit and go extinct with them.
Mm.
Mammies are the dinosaurs of women.
That's so
Okay.
See,
sad.
I wouldn't have an issue with their decision. If they want black men, that's fine. If they feel like they got a good one, that's their business. I'm not understanding why the fuck they won't stay out of ours. That's what my issue, where my issue comes in at. Because it's like, okay, fine, you do you. But they are so goddamn bothered and so concerned with what it is that we're doing. And it always comes down to black women with that white man. That's what it always comes down to. Let me point out how bad this white man is. And it's like, why do you give a damn? I thought you had a unicorn. What
But they
business is
don't
it of
give a damn.
yours?
They don't, Aaliyah. The
Of
whole
course
point
they
of
don't.
the whole point of that saying them over there, see what that white man is doing over there, because they can't look in the mirror and say, I'm fucked up.
Mm.
I'm fucked up every day. I got all these kids. I got a star crunch going on. I can't go to the doctor. My job. They are fucked up. They have no out. So
I,
what they can do is snipe at the people who are leaving them or
I
who
don't
have
think they
left them.
want out. I don't think they want out. I think they're very happy. Mammies, they're very happy in their situation, in their circumstances, and they are just as guilty as grapes because
Thank you.
Yeah.
they they are just as guilty. They are just as involved in the nonsense and the violence and everything else. They happy with their Jordans, their bonnets, okay? They black and milds. They living it up. They're having a good time. I don't feel like mammies need to be called trapped because it seems like it's kind of victimizing them a bit. And I think a majority of them are not. They are very happy and they're participating. And when things go left and they do unalive black women, a lot of the time it's a mammy right behind them, sticking beside him. That's her man.
That's
She's gonna stick
true,
beside him.
And I
but
think
but
it's
if you're truly happy, you don't have time for anybody else, do you?
exactly, exactly. And I think it's some truth to what you were saying about them not having what it takes. Because let's be honest, a lot of black women stick with black men because they're familiar and that's what they are used to. And they know, let's just be real, the shit that white men is is willing to put up with and tolerate is very different than black men. And let's be real, that's why a lot of black women want to stick with them. Because see, I'm sorry, but most white men got standards and expectations for their women. All this ghetto ass shit where you outside with bonnets all in your head. You too lazy to comb your damn hair. You're too lazy to exercise and go to the gym, do the work, put some effort into your appearance and all that other shit. A lot of white men, they're not gonna tolerate a lot of that shit. And a lot of black women don't give a damn. They are happy and they are complicit in the way the way the situation is. Black men have no standards. They
Well,
try to pretend
they
like
have
they
superficial standards, very
well,
superficial, silly standards.
but let's just be real. Black men don't care about overweight women. They talk shit like they do, but they don't care. They will talk to overweight women. So that means, okay, well, fine. I could be a larger woman. I don't have to improve that. I don't have to go
Exactly.
to the gym. I don't have to
Exactly.
lose weight. I don't have
Exactly.
to, I can just eat what I want. I'm sorry, but most white men have expectations for their women. It just is what it is.
And it's
So
not
you
just
stick,
looks either, because
yeah,
you have to have something in that head of yours. You cannot just
exactly.
whip your head around and hear air. Okay. That's another thing. They have to have women who are going to be able to get along with other people who are not
Oops.
exactly like them.
Oops.
That's why I say trapped, because they know, number one, they're not going to put in the work of this divestment at all because it's too hard. Number two, they don't have the resources or the wherewithal, because by the time you got three little babies, one, two, three, okay, how are you going to take care of yourself and invest in yourself? Men are no, all men are attracted to women who look like they invest in themselves.
Listen, y'all. Okay. Um, some of them women, I hate to say it, they're better off where they are because they're gonna fail anywhere else. Point
Thank
blank.
you.
Period. Um, let me scroll down a little bit, y'all. This not a pop either. From childhood to the grave, these niggas are fucking trash. Y'all, this was reported on November 28th, okay, from KWTX10. I'm guessing that's Texas, right? This is Michael Matthew Howard. He's 22. This young lady, her name is Sakira Young. She's 20 years old, or was 20 years old. The whole relationship was abusive. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody fucking surprised that this relationship was abusive? Abusive as fuck. Of course it was abusive. Well, you know, she went on ahead and gave it up to this abusive motherfucker and she got pregnant. I guess you know what happened next. She's no longer with us. Y'all, this shit is sick. It's sick. He's going to jail for life, according to that news station. It's over. And then you got the mama talking about, oh, my baby didn't deserve it. If you don't think your babies deserve this type of shit, number one, stop fucking around with niggas. I understand everybody got a fucking pass. Going forward, you should probably advise other women that you care about, since you claim you care about them so fucking much. Hey, don't do that. You don't have to be overbearing. But I'm sorry. I would tell my daughter not to do that. If my daughter was a minor today, she would hear that same shit she heard 10 years ago. Okay? Don't do it. I'm not co-signing none of that shit. I'm not. I'm not going for the, well, as long as my baby's happy, when you know good and damn well what she's getting into. You could tell her, be safe. I wish you well. But I'm not co-signing none of that shit. People need to start telling their black daughters, because that's who black men hate the most, to knock this shit off. Welcome to Salty. How are you?
Hi, Daisy. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Amazing.
So Aaliyah and Ebony, they took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think mammies or black women are trapped. There is a certain willfulness, meaning stubbornness, that exists in black communities, and we almost wear it as a badge of honor. I'm not going to do this. You're not going to tell me what to do, type thing. It's also easy because there's a certain level of comfort that we find in the dysfunction. Okay, change is uncomfortable. So you can walk around in bonnet and house shoes. You can walk around complaining. You can have low impulse control. You can have, little to no morals. There's no accountability. That is very comforting to a lot of us. And the other thing I want to touch on is how young some of these victims are. I don't know why it's said that, oh, the young girls aren't putting up with this, they aren't doing that.
Yes, they killed me with that. I thought
Yeah,
that too salty when
yeah.
I heard people saying, "Oh, the younger generation, they not putting up with this shit off these niggas." Well, I keep seeing you getting scraped to the fucking ground, baby. Which one
hmm
is it?
It's like it's either one or the other. And the thing is, it's generational. There's a certain level of evilness that exists when it comes to black women and their daughters. Like you were saying, how you would tell your daughter, don't be around them, period. Your average black mom is not going to tell her daughter that, even when she
Nope.
knows better, because she doesn't want to see her daughter do better, which is why you see all these under 25 young girls still dealing with these violent, demonic males who unalive them at an even faster rate.
When people turn into teenagers, they tend not to listen. When I tell you, tell them that, I'm not telling you, tell them that because I think they're going to listen. If anything's happened to her, you can say, I said, I tried to save her. I tried to
Okay.
save her.
Amen.
Even though she may not listen, but
Hmm.
you got to try to say, I tried to put that out there. Because, the people get real righteous when they turn 15, 16, 17 years old. They know everything and you don't know shit, bitch. That's how they feel about it. You old, you bitter, you all this extra shit. Just tell her and then throw your hands up. That's all you can do.
BC.
Yes.
I have a friend. He's a white male who has a brown, cocoa brown daughter that he and his wife adopted as a baby.
Hmm.
Okay. And she's the cutest thing. She's a phenotypically black girl. Okay. She's 9. Now, I have been on, we've been back and forth communicating about what the black community is waiting to do to his child if he doesn't
Okay.
intervene.
Okay.
Okay. And
Hmm.
he's like, "Are you serious? He says, this is sick." And I said, "Yes, it is sick, but they are waiting on your child and they've got nothing good for her because she, number one, it'd been one thing if she was biracial, they'd mess her up too. They'd be the first one to mess her up. But
Going through
she,
this list, Ebony, I'm serious. Going through
yes,
this list, trying to put this list together, I had to toss the biracial, toss the white one. I even
yes,
saw, because I wanted it to just be black women because they always come back. Well, she included it, because they get real triggered when black men's preferences are added to any list because they still
exactly,
feel a way about black men. Keep
exactly.
going. I'm sorry.
But here is a white man worried about his cute little dark skinned, beautiful almond eyed girl with 4C hair. And I just laid it out on the line with him. I held nothing back. And he
Hmm.
said, I am so happy that you're so concerned about my daughter that you actually came and told me this. I said, keep on, brother.
Hmm.
Keep on.
You got to. It is what it is, y'all. This doesn't get any better. Y'all already know what this list looks like. Y'all already know what it looks like. Ladies, this right here, this was reported on November 7th. People magazine and other, outlets were talking about this because this man, Dusty, whatever. I keep wanting to call him the hard R, but I can't do that. His name is Chevelle Jordan Jones. Okay? Chevelle Jordan Jones. He's 23 years old. Okay. Wait, let me go back up because there's so many motherfuckers on here. It's ridiculous. His name is Laval, not Chevelle. My sorry, and he's my bad. And he's 36 years old. He's a Navy officer. These names are literally starting to run together, y'all. Chevelle, Laval, Jamal, all these motherfuckers are starting to run together. Okay? He's the Navy officer. Well, he got Ebony on the right pregnant. Make no mistake about it, that wasn't his girlfriend. It was just somebody he was fucking on. The same type of setup a lot of you mammies have, and pretending like that's the setup that you want. All I want, no, you don't want that. That's why you're willing to bend over backwards, because you're trying to get somebody to settle down with you. It is what it is. You can play hot girl summer all you want to. I know that that's just a defense mechanism so that you can live with yourself and look in the mirror when you brush your goddamn gold teeth. Okay? That's what that is. Well, she got pregnant by him. He flew. He spent $1,000 on travel as far as air goes, and another $2,000 on meals, hotel stays, and all that extra shit just so he can get to this woman and take her ass out. She was pregnant with his twins, and he stabbed her multiple times, focusing on the belly just in case she lived, that the babies didn't. I said what I said. How is this even possible? And by the way, that's your unicorn. He has a job, a little bit of money. Okay, he's able to buy tickets and hotels and all that good shit. He took her out because what he don't want to see is anything that looks like him coming out of you, because he does not like you. And you got the nerve to be pregnant with two of them. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, she's out of here. Welcome to the panel, Kyra.
Good evening, DZ. Good evening, ladies.
Hello.
Hey. So, if it's okay with you, DZ, I'd like to backtrack to why some of the some ladies are just having a hard time divesting, or can't even consider it, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another aspect is these chicks do not want to look in their mirrors and take stock of their actions and behaviors and course correct. They don't want to have to show some decorum or some code switching. They just want to be as loud and ratchet and ghetto no matter where they are, and think it's okay. You can do that stuff around Tyrone. You can go be loud, ratchet, uncouth, unkempt, no
He
matter
can't
where he
tell her
takes
how to
you.
be. He can't tell her how to be. She paying the fucking bills.
Precisely. She's paying the bills, and he low key likes that ratchet shit. But you can't take that ratchet shit elsewhere. You have to at least know how to code switch. Can you go to the company Christmas party without acting a damn fool?
No, the garbage people don't have Christmas parties. Christmas parties.
Better yet, can you go to the Christmas party and leave the blonde wig? And a lot of people finna get mad at that. Can you leave the purple, the blue, the orange, and the bright pink wig at home? Can you leave those at home too?
Can you leave
Girl,
the crazy eyelashes? Can you leave the clearly fake eye color?
yo,
Like,
think about it like
yeah.
this. Let's just think about it like this. How do you know someone's a police officer? By their uniform, right? That's how you know. How do you know somebody's a nurse, a firefighter, or what? By their uniform. That shit you got on with that platinum blonde wig, that is a mammy uniform, ma'am. So whenever somebody needs to identify some shit, right, they're gonna look at that first. That's why you keep catching a hard time. That's why motherfuckers turning down your application to go ahead and get into this apartment complex and this job or whatever. Nobody's playing respectability politics. Your men didn't bill you anything, and the politics of the patriarchy that you live in states that that's a mammy uniform. Okay, if you blink, you're gonna start a motherfucking hurricane on another continent, because that energy gonna keep going the fuck. Girl, that's a mammy uniform. What's the purpose of a uniform? So you can identify the function of the person that's wearing it. And bitch, hey, you wearing that thing.
Oh, I wanted to also add, can you go to a function where there's dancing without bending over and twerking? Twerking's not acceptable at every place. Yeah, go ahead and bend over at a gala. You do that. Okay.
Them hoes will tell you flat out, that's some shit that our ancestors did, and you demonized it, just like they demonized. Look, stand the fuck up and eat your goddamn tartar and shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want to hear all that shit everywhere they go.
Y'all
And you
Okay.
need to
remember
use
the
proper grammar. How we just start with the basics? Proper grammar. Wherever it is you're speaking. It doesn't have to be English. If you're speaking Spanish, use proper Spanish grammar, French grammar. Can you at least speak the language of wherever it is you are at properly? Let's start that.
Y'all
This-
remember the upside down twerking senator who was twerking upside down on the
yes, I
beach?
remember that whore. I remember
Yeah,
that goofy
you
bitch.
do. And you also remember Blackistan's response to people being ashamed, telling her she should be ashamed of herself? And Blackistan said that that was anti-black and white supremacy to expect this senator to stand
Oh,
her
Lord.
ass up and not be twerking on the beach with her ass out. Yeah.
They
Everything normal people do is either consider respectability politics or you trying to be white, I swear.
mm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is really ridiculous.
they don't listen. They disingenuous with that shit. If they ass had to have their appendix removed, right, and they sitting on the prep table, and a motherfucker come in there talking about I'm getting ready to do your surgery, and they bend upside down on the goddamn floor and start twerking, you're gonna be a little bit nervous. You don't think you're gonna make it through that surgery. Why? Because
Actually,
there's a certain
DZ,
amount of decorum that needs to be there. Yes, ma'am.
actually, a black female surgeon got reprimanded for dancing in the theater before the surgery.
I'm not surprised.
She was on camera dancing around. And I'm thinking,
I wouldn't let that whore cut on me. That's
oh my
I'm
God,
start. She not fixing to cut me with a goddamn thing. She gonna go enter a twerk contest. I don't give a fuck how well she did in school. I really don't. Mm-mm. Nope, not doing it.
they don't want to do the work of divestment. So that's fine. That's fine. You stay over there, leave us out of your mouths, leave us out of your lives because we definitely walked out.
Well, see, that's my issue with it though. Like y'all were saying earlier, if they're content with the cicadas as much as they claim they are, then y'all be over there and keep your issues and bullshits and problems over there with you. The issue is you release these beasts you call sons onto the rest of society and we have to deal with it. And that's the issue. You know what? Why don't y'all go build your Black Wakanda communities that you say are going to happen? Go finally build that school and leave the rest of society who doesn't want to be amongst you, including us, alone.
Ain't gonna happen. They have to eat. They have to eat, and they have to get their food from white people. Let's just keep it all the way real. You could put them on their own little island. They're all going to get on a man-made boat and take their ass right back up because they're gonna get hungry. They're gonna get sick. They're gonna need shelter. And guess who's responsible for all of that in this country that you call America? It ain't your niggas. So it would be nice if we can dump them off, but they gonna come right back. Y'all ever seen them boats full of motherfuckers coming from Africa fighting their ass and onto the shoreline because they hungry and looking for a better way of life? Don't stay in your country and build shit up. You got 200 men on this fucking boat coming to get up under another man. It's ridiculous. I swear. You can't make the shit up. Now, this nigga right here, his name is Chevelle. Okay. This story, it triggered me, y'all. It really did. To the right is his girlfriend, Aisha Nesmith, Nesmith. Well, they had an argument. That's his girlfriend. They had an argument, but it was a real petty argument. And because Black men are not in control of their emotions, they kind of lack impulse control and go the fuck off. Everything is burn the whole house down when there's something petty going on. Her sister saw the argument and she even said the shit was petty. She didn't think nothing of it. They also said he was nice to the kids and she let the kids play. It was a mess. They was doing a whole bunch of fake phony shit. Well, the fact of the matter is this. That's a nigga. At some point, he's going to be a nigga. Just wait for it. Well, Miss Aisha, her sister, her mother, and her niece, and another one of her sisters, and some more children were in the house. Well, with a petty argument like this, you got to come in and do a massacre. You have to. That's Blackistanese code right there. And these right here are all the victims that did not make it because Mr. Chevelle was upset about something that his girlfriend said to him. The first woman is the mom. Second woman is the girlfriend's sister, right? That's the girlfriend, number 3. And that's her 4-year-old niece, Janice. Okay. Other children had to hide under beds. He also shot another one of the sisters in the face. She made it though. right? And she went and got help for everybody else. But this is what y'all talking about with me. And I can't. You made up a story, boo. You made up a story. I didn't even think y'all would stoop to that level, mammies. I didn't. I knew y'all was on some fuck shit and I knew y'all were not to be trusted. I've been knowing it for a very long time, but I didn't think that you would construct a story with all this shit that's going on out here, right? This happened just this month. I didn't think that you would do that. Come with the facts. You're always trying to fact check other people. But for some reason, you don't have to be held to that standard. You could just come up with this imaginary Kunta Kinte, Toby ass scenario, right? And then it's supposed to somehow convince other women, black women in particular, not to deal with other groups of men or other groups of people, whatever, however you shake. Okay. Shane, you quiet. What is going on?
Um, I'm quiet because I'm just, like I said, it's the same stuff, same shit, different day, and it doesn't matter what the age of these savages are. Nothing ever changes. Like I said, these women, even the mother, they all still had plenty of years left in them to live their lives, and that baby on the right didn't even have a chance to live her life, all because some pathetic piece of crap wanted to throw a tantrum like a 3-year-old and couldn't control himself. I'm tired of seeing it.
The sister said the argument was so petty she didn't even bat an eye. She said she saw them disagreeing and she didn't even stay tuned to what was going on, because you know how couples do. They'll sit there and it's a little petty goddamn thing. Well, I'm not ready to go. Well, you stay here then. It was petty like that. She didn't know he was gonna come back blazing, but this is a nigga. You can expect anything from these motherfuckers. The only person I feel sorry for is that baby on the right. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, because you keep getting in these relationships. The mom sitting up here co-signing a relationship. She clearly co-signed it because he was always allowed in the house. I'm sorry. Not one of my female relatives that I deal with are allowed to bring a nigga to my house. It is what it is. All this politically correct bullshit, I'm over it. Because people like that little girl on the right, Janice, they're dying. You don't give a fuck. You just want to care about other people's feelings. I don't care about folks' feelings. Do you know how small of a casket you have to buy for a 4-year-old that wasn't doing anything? Her brother and sister were there and they were 6 and 7 years old, hiding up under a fucking bed because yo Dusty got an attitude, bitch. Really? Aaliyah.
I have no words. I mean, he took out all these people at the same time, the same day.
Yep, all in one swoop. He tried to take
Wow.
himself out, but look at here. He didn't understand the assignment, so he went on ahead and failed at that too. How about that part?
What the hell? That's him?
That's him. They can't do shit right. You can't even take yourself out
What?
right, you motherfucker.
What the hell is that on the top? Is that what was left of his hair right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
the
God, I'm done.
Take a look,
I
y'all.
have no words.
They can't do a motherfucking thing right. He made sure he got those other murders right, didn't he?
He's a
Right?
fucking coward. Excuse me. I know I don't curse much, but I apologize. But that's what I don't even. I wish he hadn't missed. In all honesty, because he's a fucking coward. He wanted to die so that he wouldn't have to deal with the repercussions of his actions, even though we understand there may not be much because of the fucked upness of the judicial system right now and dealing with these beings. But like I call that is such. I don't know. That is the most bitch move anyone can do. After you go on a rampage and cause destruction, now you want to leave? No, you're so badass to do it. Stay here and claim your prize, you piece of shit. Now, fuck him. Excuse me.
Y'all are looking at something that's not much different than what Aisha, that was his girlfriend's name, looked at first thing in the morning. Let me ask y'all a question. What is it? Just what is it? As beautiful as you are, you think that you have to lay up with this? Because why? If I saw that opening my eyes first thing in the morning, you would hear a high-pitched scream that you never heard before. I don't know what y'all see in these niggas. I'm not trying to see what you're seeing in them. You're selecting them because why? You can't talk about the money. You can't talk about the resourcefulness, helpfulness, protection. You can't talk about anything. So all we have left is looks. And ma'am, this is a hot fucking mess. You out of your goddamn mind. That's why I don't trust mammies. Making up stories and shit. I can't. I can't.
And
It's
they're always, I don't know, the black community or whoever. This whole white supremacy message is just drummed in every day in and day out. And basically, every once in a while, every blue moon or more, they will put out a slave movie. So, Will Smith has a slave movie out. There was another slave movie about something else. So what I'm saying is like this whole white supremacy thing is making Black women forget the fact that they're women, and they put race or color first above everything because Black men have nothing for them.
And the fact that I haven't even heard about this story until DZ just presented it. And I'm over here trying to catch my breath.
Thank you.
Because I'm so frustrated. The way the community and the media or whoever, they continuously, it's like they're enabling this stuff and then they sweep it under the rug and then they take the stories that fit the narrative and they highlight it. Because I'm still not ready to let go the Walmart person that did what they did, but that story is already done and buried. Like, no, they need to be put on blast. The same phony fake ass blogs and content creators that wanted to post, you know, the Laurens and the other lady that was recently unalived, they need to be posting these stories or they need to shut the fuck up when it happens. Period.
Do they even post the pictures of the perpetrators? I don't think so.
They don't. A lot of the times
Thank
they
you.
don't. They just show the person that had passed away. And why they do that is so that you can make up in your mind what you think the person looks like. So that's why they keep feeding you that slavery narrative and white people's racism. This people do that and blah, blah, blah. Because that's going to be the first thing. Well, who killed her? And as soon as you find out who killed her, you back away. You start moonwalking like Michael fucking Jackson away from that story because you don't want to talk about who the real problem is in the Black community. It is what it is, y'all. We ain't done. We ain't even done. This right here. This is from Georgia. The beautiful state of Georgia. Ladies, listen. On November 8th, WSB TV told us about Harold Dockers, right? He's 34 years old. And then you have somebody named Lashia Kayleisha Lyons. She's 29 years old. Kayleisha. That's what it looks like it says. All right. This is his ex-girlfriend. And this is why, let me tell you why that's his ex-girlfriend. Okay. Because he R-worded her several times. Okay. He beat the shit out of her several times. They have a son together. He's just an abusive son of a bitch. So she finally broke up with him. He ended up R-wording her for the last time way before her death. Let me explain. She called the cops and actually made a report this time, and they actually arrested him. But because of the marches and the mammies, he got a bond. They didn't even require him to wear an ankle monitor. Okay? He was able to roam around the state of Georgia free as a fucking bird after R-wording and beating down his baby mama. Y'all got what y'all asked legislation for. There are very feather-light rules concerning beating your ass and getting back in the street. So here we go. Well, he went to her grandmother's house where she happened to be. He took a blunt force object and beat her to death. Do you understand me? He beat her to death. He hit her so many times. He wanted to make sure she was gone. Okay? He didn't strangle her. He didn't do anything. He just repeatedly beat her upside her head to the point where they really didn't recognize her when the grandmother came home. Because like I said, she was at her grandmother's house. Here's the kicker. So he did that, went on the run, was on the run for a little bit. Once the cops spotted him, he started running like the asshole that he is. He got far enough away from the cops to do what he did next. This one understood the assignment. He blew his do-rag off. He's no longer with us, thank goodness. I don't know why homeboy up there with the half Gumby head didn't be able, wasn't able to do what he needed to do. But this one actually understood the assignment, and I'm very appreciative for him and his good ass aim to get himself out of there. He was hanging in the woods. The police say they heard a gunshot. They followed where the sound came from. His ass was laying in a creek in the middle of the woods in Georgia. Okay? Again, this parakeet bird mouth nigga. How do you end up with somebody like that? And it ain't about the looks. It's about everything that comes with it. I'm not attracted to niggas. The other thing that makes me disgusted by them is their character, right? The uselessness that they are, the childishness that they are. They don't have anything, don't add to society. So with that being said, how you gonna be ugly on top of that, bruh? How are you gonna be looking the way you do and be useless at the same time? Pick a fucking struggle, why don't you? It's on you, Liam.
I mean, you pretty much said everything. How you gonna not have shit and then be a fucked up person on top of that? I mean, I agree. There's nothing attractive about these men, and their personalities definitely don't help. So that's what they kill me talking about black women's attitudes and personality. Like they have winning personalities. Majority of them are full of shit and they stay talking shit 24/7. And the rest of them look like this motherfucker. So no.
So, mammies, please stop calling them kings and say they look good. They're shit. They're shit with legs. That's all.
I heard one of them hoes say that black men are the most sexy men on the planet.
How?
What? No.
I guess they would be the sexiest if you're into bestiality, but those of us who like to only have sex with humans, no.
I'm just waiting for somebody. I keep looking at the comments, y'all, because I'm waiting for somebody to post anything where a white man and a black woman was in a relationship for the month of November. We got one more day where he took her out. I'm waiting because, like I said, the story that I first came on here with was full of shit. I'm glad I went and did my research on what actually happened because I was fixing to come up here and say that they were in a relationship until I saw her actual king. And make no mistake about it, I'm side-eyeing him not being home at the time. Do you hear me? He's trying to make moves to America. He got some shit on his plate. He ready to go. I'm side-eyeing him not being home at the time of that fire. Okay? That seems a little bit too convenient for me. I may be wrong. I don't know. But he's there with his family every single day. And the day that you happen, quote unquote, to be absent, your wife and 2 children were in an inferno.
That's exactly how I feel, DZ. There's some look, my spidey senses are tingling. some doesn't add up.
A lot of them do ditch their families to go to the United States or to the UK. They do that.
And can I just point out that you see how there is that window in this case for speculation. It's not as cut and dry, but then like the stories you just showed, it is very evident and clear. There is no way to slice it and dice it and pretend something else could have happened. This last one, his hatred for her was so deep that he beat the shit out of her, beat her to death. He could have just offed himself. They hate you so much. They don't want you to live. They will rather fuck you up and then take themselves out. So it's over for everybody. Like you just have no choice, no chance at life. And again, it just frustrates me that the stories that go viral and get all the attention to fearmonger people, a lot of the time, it's not even a situation where it is a domestic situation and it's in black and white. What happened? Like these are.
I'm appalled at them making that shit up. Because you claim you have respect for black women and you want them to stop, getting in situations where they're getting fucked up. And then you disrespected this woman's memory by making up a whole fictitious relationship with a white man. That is disgusting. I'm not going to be able to get past that.
They'd rather you be dead than happy, ladies. Dead than happy.
Y'all, this one right here, November 17th, WTKR3, Channel 3, reported that Antonio Sutton, 41, and Aisha James, 37. First of all, they were in a relationship. Let's get that part out of the way. Well, I just told you that Antonio is 41. He had just done damn near 2 decades in jail already before they even got in a relationship. So I don't know why she picked him. He spent the majority of his adult life in prison. Okay? So he probably has the mindset of a 16-year-old, ladies. And on top of that, their growth is all already arrested because they don't have to fend for themselves like regular men have to. So they come off really, really childish in both emotional ways and financial ways. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know why Aisha picked a nigga that had been in jail for 2 goddamn decades on robbery, assault, theft by taking, aggravated assault, right? Damn near 2 decades. He's only 41. Anyway, when they got into it, he went on ahead and took her braids off. Okay? He shot her in the head, also injuring her adult daughter. I say adult daughter because I just told you she was only 37 years old. Hmm? This shit starts early as fuck in the black community. You got this nigga on the left that had been in jail for damn near 20 years, and this woman on the right who was 37 years old and already had an adult daughter. Where they do this shit at, y'all, all it takes is one fucking argument. Do you think these women are going out here and they're looking for dates, or they're available for dates, and these niggas are just saying bullshit to them? They're nice at first. They know how to code switch, unlike you, mammy. They know how to code switch, get you all in your feels, and then go ahead and riddle you with bullets, beat you to death, strangle you to death, throw your ass in rivers. All this shit that they do to you. Do you think all these women that this has happened to, that some nigga came up to them and said, guess what, bitch? We're going to go on a date and then I'm going to kill you? You think that's how that happened? I don't want to hear about how nice he is. I don't want to hear about the job that he has. He is a naker at the end of the day. Point blank the fuck period. I'm not going to keep boring y'all with the rest of this shit because it gets to be overwhelming. It gets to be overwhelming. How many times can you look with a nigga on the left and a deceased black woman on the right? Huh? The shit, it desensitizes you. We could sit here and go over 20 more if we wanted to, just for the month of November. I think my point has been made. There is no comparison between interracial black women and intraracial black women. The intraracial black women are getting their asses handed to them. They are no more. No more. They won't be here for Christmas. They won't be here for New Year's, right? And sometimes these niggas are allowed to sit at home on bond after fucking you up, your kids up, and all this extra shit. And I don't know why you would make up a story. There's enough to go around. You mammy ass bitch. You could have reported on any one of these stories. But y'all start jumping up and down like, you done lost your goddamn mind whenever you think you saw something where a white man hurt a black woman. Y'all nipples get hard, coochie get wet, and you run straight to your goddamn laptop. Those of you that have laptops, the shade. Those of you that have laptops, plug in your goddamn mic so you can say, "Ooh, girl, look at what this motherfucker did to this." I can't, y'all. I can't. Hey, Kyra, I see you back. Go ahead.
This is why I take issue with the fact of, them pretending like the whole gender war thing is something that exists only online, and there is. And I think in actuality, are they not paying attention to the fact that black men in the real world have declared war on black women a long time ago, and they're actually taking us out to the tune of every 5 hours? Yet somehow this is a non-existent gender war that's being perpetuated by the people online, and this is the narrative that a lot of these dumb bitches are really putting out there, that nothing, that the rift that's between black men and women doesn't exist anywhere outside of social media. And it's like,
Aaliyah,
y'all really going with that lie?
Aaliyah, I think it's 4.8 or 4.7 hours now. Just wanted to make that small
Yeah,
correction.
see, the window keeps getting smaller and smaller, and but again, they try to pretend like it doesn't exist anywhere outside of social media, and that black love is alive and well and thriving. And I'm like, are y'all not paying attention to how many of us they're taking out? Really?
Well, to add to what you're saying, a lot of those chicks, what they like to believe is that, you know, things were all hunky dory before integration. You know, back during Jim Crow days, that, you know, the black family and black business and all that stuff was, you know, the place to be, and it's only the evil white man with his integration that destroyed things. No, clearly the black males, they were only with y'all back in the day with our grandmothers and great grandmothers because they were forced to do it. They only maintained black communities because they were forced to do it. They only built black businesses because they were forced to do it under duress. That should tell you something. As soon as they got their freedom, they got their they got on. They never wanted to be with you. They never wanted to have this black family or this black Wakanda or whatever you want to call it. They were still beating your grandmother's asses back in the day. They were still unaliving black women back in the day. It just didn't really get reported on. And this stuff is old as time.
I mean,
Y'all,
yeah, of course it is. I mean, because even my own grandmother told me that they think that it was so perfect back then, but even she told me not to be like she was, not to make the same mistakes that she did. And it's like, because she said I came up during a time where women literally
Ali,
couldn't make it without their husbands.
you got some feedback going on. It's like it sounds like you driving a little bit. I don't know what's going on with that microphone, but we gonna figure it out. Oh, you going back on mute? Okay. Banner up. Yes, y'all, that's the same man. It's the same motherfucker. Divested Beauty. I'm just making sure this is your real account because we don't want to see no shit log. Divested Beauty. Are you Dusty?
No, ma'am, I'm not Dusty. Hey, Dizzy, it's me again.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are all of y'all?
We're fucking amazing.
That's good. Me too. But yeah, I'm calling on my nice MacBook Air. You know, yeah. But I wanted to first start off with what Kyra had said. It was a comment that she said about like black women being unkempt and how they're looking. And I'm going to be completely honest. There was a couple of years ago where a woman had made a TikTok about like, you know, women wearing like all this crazy color hair and crazy eyelashes, and she was getting called anti-black. Well, I guess I'm anti-black too because I hate that shit. Secondly, I feel like they just, it's like a sense of entitlement that they've always had. Like today, for example, I was walking in to pay for gas. This black man tries to talk to me. I'm looking straight ahead. I avoid them at all costs. I don't want them talking to me. And not only that, I also spread your message to my sister, so she's also listening in and she 100% agrees with you. So I just want to say thank you to all the ladies on the panel. I love y'all and I support y'all, and I hope y'all have a good night.
You do the same, Divested Beauty. Thank you for coming up.
All right, thank you.
Y'all, this is the deal. Even if you're sitting on the fence, listen to me now. If you're sitting on the fence, you have to look at both sides with what's really happening. There has never been a time that we came up here and made a story up. Not once. Because there's too many, number one, even if we wanted to make a story up. These stories of black women getting dragged the fuck to hell come straight from news stations. They come from newspapers, online and offline, or whatever. It's so many of them, ladies, that I go through my watch later list because that's what I use to line up the video so that y'all can see. There were videos on there that I had to take off that were from 2 months ago. I didn't get a chance to get to them. There's so many new ones coming in that I don't want to be talking about some shit that happened 2 months ago when new women are getting murdered like right in front of you. So there's no way to talk about all this shit. I'm sure that there were several stories up here that y'all saw that you never even heard of. But you hear about all this extra shit that has nothing to do with nothing. You heard about Takeoff dying. What? Who gives a flying fuck about Takeoff dying? Unless you're putting it up here to say, hey, black women, do not hang around niggas like Takeoff. I can see that. but you got other shit that you need to be doing. Now, if you're on the fence, look at who's making shit up. Look at who's having to twerk and tweak little stories to make it fit their narrative, right? The story that came on here earlier with the white guy, that's a story under crime. You know, there's crime everywhere. It is what it is because that's why we all have police stations in every country in this goddamn motherfucking globe. It is what it is. But what they had to do, look at the race. You found yourself a black woman. Look at his race. You found yourself a white man. Now, how can we put this shit together to make it seem like there's a crew of white men out here searching for black women to kill? That right there is disingenuous, and it's also insidious if you ask me. You have to ask yourself, why would they do something like that? What are they trying to prove? Because the point is not being proven if the story isn't true. And I want y'all to follow that story. Okay?
They're proving absolutely nothing because most women who fuck with white men gonna continue on to fuck with white men, myself included. The mammies need to understand they're wasting their time. I love white men. I am a white male worshiper. I've admitted it already. So that's not gonna change. I don't give a fuck how many stories you concoct. That's not gonna change anything. Cause I'm still gonna fuck with a fine ass bread, cause that's just what I like. Deal
I'm,
with it, mammies.
I'm telling you, it's actually fun. Okay? Get
Stay
out
the
here.
faith, sister. Stay the faith. That's all. That's all
Okay?
I gotta
Get
say.
your ass out here. Vet. Look, 86 black men, get them the fuck out your life and then vet all others. That has always been my mantra. Okay? Nobody said not to vet no goddamn non-black man. Are you out of your mind? That would be stupid as fuck to say to somebody because you'll get somebody hurt that way. But get rid of the ones that you already know are hurting you, right? And then pull up, level up. And you don't even listen, all I care about is you getting black men out your life. You ain't got to be with nobody. It's whatever makes you happy. You don't have to be with
No,
anybody. Go ahead.
I wanted to give them that sound bite because they swear we worship white men. So I'm telling you, yes, I do. So when you take
Oh,
that
I do
sound bite, be
too.
sure to include that part.
Listen, I do
I, that
too.
was,
Shit, you got me fucked up. I'm gonna worship the motherfuckers that's making sure I got Wi-Fi, somewhere to live, something to eat, a roof over my head, clean water, electricity, plumbing, right? Schools, malls, okay? You not making sure that I have it. So why not worship the motherfuckers that make sure that happens every day? I can put a glass up under my fucking faucet, put some water in it, drink it, and I'm gonna be all right. Try that shit where some nigga is at and he's running shit. Your ass gonna have worms coming all out your booty hole. Try it, bitch.
D
DZ, sounds like we need another worship service at some point. I think we need to bring another worship service in.
And they always try to paint the narrative that divestors are just out here not vetting the brads or other that we date. And it's like, first of all, that should go without saying. But they have the audacity when they out here dating men that have been in prison, that are just down bad. Like, you guys have no room to even talk about what we're doing over here with the shit y'all scraping up off the ground and dating. Period.
You remember that video I shared in Discord with homeboy? He's in jail for 1,000 years, and her and him doing a TikTok trend. You can't make this shit up.
DZ, I have a medical
I'll
question for
go
you.
for the part two for the church, the start worship service. Most definitely. Go ahead, Kyra.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Aaliyah. Please go ahead.
No, she
Oh
was just
no, I was
adding.
saying I was just amen in the part two to the worship service. Yeah, I've been asking DZ when we were gonna do a second part today because I can't wait to do it again. It was awesome. It was so much fun. I can't wait till we get ready to do the next one. Yeah.
I'll be there. Praise and worship. Let's get it.
DZ, the medical question is, you know that dude with the really thick neck that you had up on the screen?
What about him?
How exactly do you get your neck that thick? I'm curious. Like, I mean, I don't know of any exercises to build up muscles. You know, it's not like you could do like a chest press or something for your neck.
There's nothing you can do. Your body would grow in an equal form doing those goddamn exercises. His motherfucking ass is deformed. Period. It's a birth defect. That's why his neck is so fat.
Are you sure it's not from deep throating other shit logs?
Because all of these niggas would have those type of necks because they all do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them, you see them now, they got as much junk on the trunk as a black woman, so we
Muffin
know it's
top
going in there.
titties.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I see it. Sorry,
Some
he
mammy
specific.
thought his thick neck ass was fine. Trust me.
Please, I know you telling
They,
the truth because y'all, this particular arrest. Let me put him back up here. The arrest on, I read what he went to jail for, and I saw something up under there where it said something about child support. If this motherfucker got a baby, I know something, bitch. I don't know what the child support situation was. I ain't gonna speak on the shit, but it was on the rap sheet. That and stalking. I saw child support and stalking. I don't know what the fuck withholding money. I don't know what the hell is going on. But anybody laying back, they can't divest. Bitch, if you gave this nigga any of that Star Crunch, don't it just unsubscribe and get the fuck away from me because I'm scared of you, bitch. I'm scared.
Can you
That
believe
man
it?
is too. I'm sorry, Kari, go ahead.
There's a whole mammy out here who saw that he is genetically deformed clearly, and she still gave it up raw.
Absolutely. There's also the dude that don't have a bottom jaw. Remember, he got him a cute ass black girl.
This man is about 2 transformations away from a minotaur. Just 2. He's more than halfway there. I didn't see this picture before. Holy crap.
Butterfly Bay, are you dusty? Butterfly Bay, you clicked my link. Are you dusty? All right, Butterfly Bay, I'm gonna send you to the back, boo. Thanks for coming up and everything you added to the goddamn panel. All right, let me remove this.
I don't know which picture is worse, the one where he trying to smile or the one where he mugging. I mean, this, hell no.
It looked like he had a haircut in the one on the right. I don't know.
The one on the right, that doesn't actually look like a real photo. That looks like some sort of CGI markup or something.
I
Like,
don't know what the fuck that is. I got it from the shade room.
You know the mask.
The
I'm
arrest.
sorry.
It's okay. The arrest actually happened though. He did get arrested on that date. I don't know what's going on with that photo, but the neck is consistent. Go ahead, Nefertiti.
Oh no, he has. It's almost so unreal. It almost looks like, what's that? Who's the one that wears the whole full flesh mask over their face when they're killing people? Not Freddy. Not Jay. I can't think of his Leatherface. That man look like he looked just. That's what that looks like to me. He is ready. He is Halloween ready all year long. I'm sorry.
How do you become a black male incel if that nigga's getting pussy? How you? Because there's mammies everywhere. If I swung that way, I can get me a few mammies. Pull up. I said what the fuck I said. Mammies are easy to get. All you gotta do is be black. That's all you gotta do. Okay. Where did black male incels come from? I'm guessing because they can't get the women they actually want because they hate your motherfucking ass. So a black incel is somebody that can't get his preference. I don't fucking know. It's weird. Here we go, y'all. Let's do it.
Right now at 6, the I-Team is learning new details about this woman killed at a Southside apartment complex this week. Ashley Fowler, a mother of 3 before she was found brutally murdered. The I-Team is learning the man suspected of killing her, Otis Lee Tucker, has a criminal past, spending 5 years in prison in another state for violent crimes.
Oh my goodness, Zaddy. You mean to tell me a black man has a criminal record? We ain't never heard that shit before. Okay.
Tucker was even questioned in the case of a missing woman in Richmond, Virginia. News for Jack's I-Team investigator Ann Maxwell live outside the Duval County Jail where Tucker is being held. And you've been digging into his past.
Yeah, Joy Kent, he spent 5 years in prison in Virginia, as you mentioned, and he moved to Jacksonville earlier this year. JSO arrested him in July, but while he was on probation, but he was released, and now he stands accused of murder.
She was funny. She was goofy.
Taylor Fowler says life will never be the same without his sister, Ashley. She leaves behind 3 sons.
Now, from what I understand, y'all, didn't those niggas in the manosphere say that they ain't fixing to protect no black woman, and then they added the caveat because that was a little bit too much, so they corrected it and say, I'm not gonna protect black women that are not in my family. Okay, nigga, That's your sister. Why didn't you tell her not to date a felon? Pull up. I don't know what the fuck y'all drinking on, but what they're saying over in Blackistan makes no fucking sense. And now he up here talking about she's funny, she's goofy. What she wasn't was protected.
When she loved her kids, that was definitely her focus.
On Tuesday night, JSO reports officers found her body on the living room floor of an apartment at the Auburn Glen complex after getting a call about a disturbance. A neighbor said they heard banging and screaming. Fowler says his sister was beaten and strangled, but they're still waiting on the official autopsy.
It's unbelievable. It still doesn't feel real right now.
Otis Lee Tucker is now charged with tampering with evidence.
Y'all gonna quit fucking with me. Y'all are gonna quit fucking with me. Why was she with this motherfucker? Why?
Well, he's light-skinned, and some of them, they perk up about that. Again, I'm sorry, I'm beating a dead horse about the Walmart person, but somebody was reporting on them, and they were like, oh, well, he black, but he light-skinned, so,
I can't
that's
believe
probably
they
why.
said that shit. I can't, y'all. Let's finish up.
And murder. Investigators say it wasn't premeditated.
According to JSO, Tucker was picked up while walking on the sidewalk in this area of Bowden Road about 12 hours after the murder. This is about an 8-minute drive from the murder scene.
Fowler says the family had never heard of Tucker and that his sister Ashley would walk through the Auburn Glen complex as a shortcut, but wasn't known to hang out there.
As the details come out, it just makes it still more just unbelievable and shocking. It feels like a movie. I hate to compare it to a movie, but it just doesn't feel real right now.
Some of those details trace back to Richmond, Virginia, where Tucker was arrested on charges of rape, strangulation, and unlawful bodily injury in 2016. The rape charge was dropped, but he pleaded guilty to the others and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. 2016 is also when Keisha Jacobs went missing in Richmond. Her mother, Tony Jacobs.
So, with them not being able to abuse and act a fucking fool on black men, the cops let him go after he was the last person to see this young lady. For those of you that are confused, that's 2 bodies. That's 2 bodies. But you're being politically correct. You standing in front of courthouses talking about let my people go. Bitch, I hate you. I can't stand you. So he was free to go ahead and do number 2. Let's go.
Says Tucker was the last person to talk to her.
Everything in my heart is saying that my daughter's still out here.
What was your reaction when you heard he'd been taken in on a murder charge in Jacksonville?
I wasn't surprised. And my thought was, oh my God, who did he murder? And then, I found it was a young lady and everything. And my heart just went out to the family.
The Virginia Department of Corrections confirms Tucker had been out on prison on probation, and he was allowed to move to be with his fiancée in Florida.
Yo, I don't mean to laugh, but how many times they gonna do this? So, with the mammies protesting and carrying the fuck on, they were unable to keep him. He was able to move on probation. Back in the day, when you were on probation, you weren't allowed to move unless somebody died. I'm talking about the person that is your caretaker has moved and there are extenuating circumstances and you couldn't move. This motherfucker was living like the rest of us, even having these assaults and that woman up under his belt. This is what they fought for. This is what mammies want.
Florida, where his supervision continued. Records show Tucker was arrested by JSO in July on charges of making false 911 calls and lying to law enforcement. Virginia DOC said they didn't take any action after the arrest because they were waiting to see if the charge would stick. JSO says it's up to probation officials to issue a warrant for violations, so they let him go.
Where's the racism? Where is it? They're just trying to take black men down from what I understand. So shouldn't that probation officer have gone ahead and violated him? No, he didn't violate him. There is no goddamn internal racism in all these goddamn situations. You mean to tell me that all these niggas that are fucking up black women, they're being victims of systemic racism? Is that what you're saying? You hate black women if you think that. They can't keep these niggas in jail no more. When y'all gonna pound the pavement to reverse this shit? Because it's like this because the way you pound the pavement the first time, it's your job to undo it. Or you don't give a fuck about black women.
My sister didn't deserve this. She was a beautiful person.
Fuck you, nigga.
And like I said, it could happen to anybody. Please, I really hope our justice system steps up and makes sure these criminals and people who have a clear history of hurting people stay put away.
Local media in
You
Richmond, Virginia.
I knew what y'all weren't gonna be able to go. Y'all, he said he wants the justice system to work. So at the end of the day, you fought for their freedom. They got it, and they want their justice system back to protect themselves. Ain't that a bitch? You can't make this shit up. Go ahead.
I am just, my jaw is on the floor. So I'm about, somebody need to step up and take care of these people who is doing this. You nigga, you are the people who is doing this. You. Why don't your other niggas step up and take care of them? No, because all of you are the ones who are doing this. They get up. Oh God, I can't stand him.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Yo, I don't mean to laugh because I'm gonna be honest with you. This shit is not funny. But when you see black women doing the opposite of what's going to help them, you can. What else am I supposed to do but laugh? You're
how's
asking
that?
them. Go ahead.
That guy who did this looks drugged. I've heard of like having lazy eyes, but his eyes look like someone drugged each eye. I know how do people look at that and have a romantic desire to be around that? How do you look at that and not feel unsafe? Like look like he is the perfect example of the look in his eye. Like not.
It was the last guy's mom not being surprised for me.
Look, she didn't say anything to her daughter. She didn't say, "Hey, you probably shouldn't date black men." I know that sounds terrible, y'all, but y'all need to start telling y'all daughters that shit. Hold on. Naya Broughton, are you dusty?
No, I'm not. I don't like the way my voice sounds recorded. Well, this has nothing to do with what y'all were just talking about, but I just wanted to say something about like what y'all were saying about Takeoff earlier. He faced charges last year for R-wording a woman, but the charges weren't dropped. So that's why I don't feel bad for his death.
Let me tell you why I don't feel bad for Takeoff's death. Because he was a black man. I don't care what he did or didn't do in the past, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But thank you. And I'm actually Divested Beauty's sister. I'm listening.
That's what's up. I appreciate you. I do. Before you go, let me tell you this. Don't wait to see what a black man has done before you put the judgment on. Throw the judgment on right there because you don't want to be consumed and get fucked up and you be the thing that he has done. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Because when they see or say something about you, they say they don't like black women, no matter what the fuck you did. They don't like single mothers, dark, like fat, skinny, whatever. They don't like you. So I'm not going to provide them with the gracious, non-judgmental me. I'm not going to do it. They don't give it to you. Reciprocity is very important. It really is.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming up, Naima.
Okay.
Naima. Tell me how to say your name. Naima?
Naya.
Naya. Okay. Thank you for coming up, Naya.
You're welcome.
DZ, I think calling them men is too courteous, actually. I mean, they don't call us women. We're females, we're hair-headed hooligans, we're bitches, thoughts, men. That's too courteous.
You right. Korean, are you dusty?
No, I am not dusty.
Korean?
But hello?
Yes. Are you dusty?
No, I'm not dusty. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
I've been noticing that since I was young, and I don't like to, I'm not the type to put anybody down, but even sometimes you might go right, it might not be all the way right either. And I'm not
Korean, you
putting any
trolling. Korean, you're trolling.
No, but my sister, she's married to a brother and they doing successful. So
Ma'am,
I think sometimes it's
wait a minute, baby. I know you hear me talking, right?
Okay, go ahead.
You're trolling. Were you here at the beginning of this show tonight?
Yeah, I understand. I say that's why I stay single to myself. I don't date any race. I stay by myself.
No, you're not gonna overtalk me, boo. Listen, we're gonna have a conversation, right, Korean? And just because you yell and pretend like you can't hear what I'm saying, that's not going to work. Not here, it's not. So Korean, I don't know. You're back. I don't know why you're talking about your sister and her great black man relationship. You're trolling, ma'am. You're trolling. That's the only reason you came up here. I just showed you all these niggas that fucked over these black women. And you come up here talking about your sister and her black ass boyfriend. Are you serious?
I'm not a mammy. I'm not a mammy. My mother's single. I'm single, and that's how we choose to be.
You are a mammy. You are. You came up here taking up for your sister's nigga. That's what you did.
I'm not a mammy though, but I'm just saying. I think maybe the single life is the solution. I don't think dating any other race, because I have friends of other races and their men are killing them.
You
and
would rather
chopping their
not
heads
date
off and
anybody.
everything.
You'd rather not date anybody at all.
I'd rather just stay single to myself.
I knew your ass was trolling. I knew your motherfucking ass was trolling. As soon as you opened your motherfucking dick licker, I knew you was trolling. Get your motherfucking ass out of here.
Anyway. I can't stand that fucking narrative they try to do, and that is something that they do. Oh, I'm just not gonna fuck with nobody. Like, okay, if that's what you choose to do, but don't sit here and act like that's like a slick way to say they're all the same. They're not all the same. Those men that we're discussing tonight, that group is way more dangerous and volatile and will drag you down to the fucking gutter. Period. That doesn't mean you have to spend the rest of your life alone because you feel like you're going to betray your blackness. But if you're going to do that, do that. Don't call up in here trying to encourage that lonely, pathetic bullshit for everybody else.
Exactly, Apple.
They want us all to walk around here and be film sales with their asses. I don't think so. I'm not about to join you. I love men, I love dick, and I love white men and their dick specifically. So she can miss me with that bullshit.
I just can't. As soon as she opened her mouth, and did y'all see? I didn't call her a mammy. She called herself one by saying, "I'm not a mammy." Bitch, you came up here and took up for a nigga after you saw at least 10 women getting taken off this planet by niggas. It's that bullshit for me. It's the same motherfuckers that be making up these stories like the one in the beginning. She didn't say shit about that shit in the beginning. No, but I know my sister, and I got friends on Pluto, and I got friends that they getting killed on Mars too. The Martian men is dusty as fuck too. DZ, I can't stand that bullshit trolling. Where my goddamn banner at?
No, I said they kill me. Go ahead, Kyle.
You know, that's another slick little mammy argument too. So if you should either be with cicadas or you should just be alone and be celibate for the rest of your life. Like, no. If you are if you're a heterosexual black woman and you want a relationship with a man, then you should by all means be open to that. Like DZ has said numerous times, take black males out of consideration and vet all other groups of men. There's no reason why you have to be alone for the rest of your life if you don't want to be. And those who do want to be celibate, that's they have that choice. But we're not all going to sit here and use vibrators for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. That's why I say they kill me with that disingenuous bullshit. Well, I just ain't gonna be with nobody. Girl, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. We grown over here. Something. I just ain't gonna be with nobody.
They just take their fear and go somewhere, because that's what it is. I mean, like you said, it's like if you can't step out and check out other men, that's got nothing to do with everybody else. Stay over there, stay afraid, and let the rest of us do our thing. Like I can't even. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the concept of you were just here for an hour and 40 minutes. And you thought it was a grand idea to come up and tell us how well your sister is doing with the animal she has decided to adopt. And calling them an animal is actually not a rad term because they are under the kingdom Animalia. So that is their proper terminology. So anyway, but that she really thought that she said to herself that was a good idea and expected us to agree. That is the shit that kills me. It's that she was surprised. We were up.
Never
It's
seen.
nuts. It's very, very crazy. I told y'all, mammies are crazy as fuck, and they're always in the green room trying to come up with ways to let you know all men are terrible. Listen, we don't like black men, bitch. You ain't gonna be able to do anything about it, and we got receipts as to why that feeling is very, very justified. Whore, I just you picked the wrong place for that. You got to go somewhere where motherfuckers talking about Russell Wilson is a goddamn unicorn. That's what you got to do. They'll probably agree with you over there and start scissoring each other and all kind of other shit. Let me see. Night Wolf, are you Dusty?
No, I'm not Dusty. I just wanted to say that this dude on the screen looks like he chews the buttons off of remote controls. He look retarded. He do.
He looks a little slow. That's another R word that we can't say up here.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, he looks slow.
Yeah. So what you got to add to what all the bullshit that's going on?
Well, to the last girl that came up here trying to take up for, N words, she's gonna end up being a news article on your show with that logic.
Look, I'm only addressing this motherfucker right here because it's smoke night, and what's smoke night without a little bit of smoke? Harissa, she says, wait, it's scrolling up. If they're animals, we're animals too.
Girl, don't you try and get scientific on me. You're not gonna win this conversation. You're not gonna win with me.
Me fucked up. See, you the type of bitch, right? Check it out. That'll sit up there and say those multi-letter mafia motherfuckers that's on the dress that they're actual women. That's that shit. Ain't no us without them. Ain't no them without us, ass bitch. I don't subscribe to that bullshit, baby. When a tiger, right, fucks a lion, they have a liger. Okay? How about that part, motherfucker? I'm not an animal. You could go be an animal all you want to and love up on that man and sit up there and be up under him and you provide for him, rub his crusty ass feet, do your thing, boo. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going. So get off my goddamn screen, animal, and do your thing.
I
It's
will
this
choose
shit
a
for
black
me.
man every time. Every damn time.
No. You cute though. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Fuck out of here.
DZ, it seems like she wants another science lesson that we've done up here, where we did phylum class order shit on these cicadas, but I'm not going to give it to her. Y'all already know.
That girl says she an animal. Go ahead and be an animal, ma'am. I'm not a black man. Okay? You're not going to do that compete and compare shit. I'm not a black man. So if you feel like you a black man, you keep being an animal. Don't you got some black woman that you should be beating up or whatever the fuck if you the same as him? I'm not the same as him. I don't believe in violence. I believe in self-defense. So I'm not an animal. Got me fucked up. Anyway, I'm sorry, Nightwolf, for cutting you off. She done fell off the goddamn screen. KLSB. I know you're not Dusty, but what's happening?
No, I'm not Dusty. How are you, DZ? Hello, panel.
Amazing. How are
Good.
you?
I'm fabulous. I am dusty free. That includes my son. So yes, I said it. I got a 25-year-old son, and he can get it too. Shit. Anyway, I don't really understand how Black women aren't more angry. The fact that Black men, we still live in a patriarchy and they haven't provided for us. I don't see how they're not just angry by just looking at them and trying to blow their do-rag off. I just don't understand that because I see them in the street and I just want to toe tag them. Like I'm just angry.
Girl didn't feel nothing. These motherfuckers are vicious when you can see 10 dead Black women, right? And then talk about how good a Black man is. That is nuts. They don't have what it takes at all. And I cannot be around these bitches for nothing. I have to be doing something mandatory to be around them. I'm not going to voluntarily be around no mammy. I'm not. That's crazy.
That's the truth. That is so true. But then my second point is when you get to the other side of when you are divested, you have to look at yourself, go to therapy, maybe get on some antidepressants because you have PTSD. The life on the other side is peaceful. You don't have the drama. You're not starting shit with people. You can kind of be yourself. It's just a peaceful way of living. So for the women that continue to be mammies or continuing that, I don't feel sorry for you because you don't want to live in peace.
Look,
So,
I'm with you 150%.
all right. I love y'all. Great
Thank you for
show.
coming up. Thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. Crystal, are you dusty?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What you got? Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Yeah. I just wanted to say, that bitch that just came on, she's the reason why it took me so long to divest. I'm in my like late 20s, but when I first divested, y'all, like I was so terrified. Like I thought my date was gonna kill me. I thought he was going like I had trust issues like the first year we were together, and it was just, I just looking at him, scrutinizing him too much, because I was like, oh well, he might try to kill me and all this. It's you bitches. Like I can't like I would have been able to really enjoy the budding love that I experienced, and like he was so patient. So I just y'all like don't believe the hype. Like I'm just happy to I found your channel. But yeah, no.
Thank you for
Like
being here. And let me add something to that. They already
mhm.
know what's being said over here. So, if you got the right one, he will be patient because he already knows how you were raised. He already
Mhm.
knows what the black community gives. They already know that when we were growing up, we were taught that white men were serial killers. At least I
Mhm.
heard that a lot growing up. I heard that they fuck with their kids the wrong way. You know what I mean? I heard that they were massive cheaters. I heard that they didn't bathe. I heard all this shit coming up. And come to find out, 62% of motherfuckers from my community can't reach the age of 18 before being touched, huh? Getting your ass whooped 3 times more likely by your mate in that community? No, it's not them. It's these niggas they keep fucking with. And niggas, I'm gonna be honest with you, they don't understand why you haven't left them. Mammies, they don't understand why you sit there and put up with this shit. They're still trying to run you the fuck off and you won't go. They are puzzled. So it's like, let me see what I can try next. Let me see if she'll put up with this. They literally started the goddamn polyamorous bullshit again in this goddamn decade, and you went for it, right? You still on some hey Barbara this Shirley ass bullshit. You are off the chain, and they don't understand why you won't go. Okay, let me put my banner back up. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all have to keep seeing him. Let me change the banner because I know y'all sick of seeing this nigga. Let's put the black women up. Just the red. Are you dusty?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay, what's going on?
Nothing much. I just wanted to just hop on real quick. And first of all, I just want to say I enjoy your content. I think you're wonderful, and I just want to thank you for being unapologetically divested. I think that you're a voice that this space has needed for quite some time. Um, I just feel that you say things that a lot of other people are afraid to say, and you're very truthful and you're very honest. So fuck what anybody says about you negatively. I rock with you
Thank you so much, and
100%.
I appreciate you, Jess. And I have to thank the ones that can't stand me either, because for some reason, when you mention my name, they come check me out. How about that part? So keep the hate up. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Jess. It is what it is. Okay. Let me
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
you
No problem.
let me tell you another reason why you haven't heard it like this before. I'm not on here looking for YouTube dick. Okay. I'm not on here looking for potential candidates that's going to
Ooh.
take me in. I'm not on here fucking other YouTubers and shit. I'm not trying to be fair and balanced, and I'm not trying to get anybody to accept my skin tone. I'm not trying to not offend. So when you got all those things going on, you have to make sure that you be touch and go around these niggas' feelings. And I'm not doing that. I don't want anything from a nigga, not one thing. I don't want your compliments. I don't want your cosign validation. I don't want none of that shit. You have a lot of BWE creators that will sit up there and make sure they'll offend you first before they offend that Dusty, because hey, she might run off that one, that king, that unicorn if she say this shit. She not trying to do that. You feel me, Jess?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I most certainly do. I most certainly do.
No,
And
thank
in regards
you.
to what you're talking about this evening, and just any other night, any other Tuesday or Friday, you bring up facts, and the cognitive dissonance in the community is like in the Black community is just baffling to me. The writing is on the wall. I think what it is, it's like, for example, Black men and, well, like you say, I'm not gonna call them men. Dusties, they mammies, and they mules. They refuse to see what everybody else is saying right now. They don't realize that the last, what, we can say 12 years with the social political climate the way it's been, a lot of people in power, and we know that's white men, they're really pissed off. They're pissed off with Black Lives Matter. They're pissed off, I think, honestly, with the protection that mammies have awarded these nakers. And they're just so stupid. They don't realize, like, they're getting clowned all up and down social media. The most recent trend has been passport bros. I'm sure all of y'all have seen how they've been going in on the passport bros on TikTok. And it's not just Black women, it's not just divested women. It's white men and it's their preferences. They look fucking ridiculous. So at this point, I don't even like to argue with them. I don't like to talk to them. There's nothing to say at this point. What is there to say? I don't want you talking to me. I get upset when I'm in a comment section and I say something and they have the audacity to weasel their way. I'm not even fucking talking to you. Why the fuck do you find yourself in women's spaces with something to say? You like to use this unicorn bullshit, but at the end of the day, you can't be a unicorn.
I don't even tell them that,
Go ahead.
darling. They are full of shit. The reason that they come to women's spaces, especially Black women's spaces, because Black women listen to them. Black women want to hear what they have to say, and they get real frustrated when they can't get, their point across. I don't listen to Black males' points. Anybody that built a society and maintained it, you don't get a say so. Back in the day, I'm talking about ancient days, if you didn't own land, you couldn't vote. Whether you were Black, white, or whatever, you couldn't vote. So since these niggas don't own nothing, what the fuck does their opinion matter? It's Black women that still consider their opinion that get on my goddamn nerves. And about these TikTok people talking about passport bros, some of those Black women are trying to guilt these men into not going. In other words, y'all are going over there and it might just be you because there's a bunch of women here that you can pick. A girl, let them go. Let them go. Talk about them, but let them go. You're still trying to bait a conversation with the nigga. Fuck him. Egypt. Are
Exactly.
you the real?
I feel the same way.
Oh, okay. I had thought you dropped off. I started ranting. Thank you, Jess. Egypt. Is this the real Egypt?
Yes. Hi.
Hey,
Can you
girl,
hear
how are
me?
you? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, how are you? I left work earlier. I wasn't gonna call in because I'm always like so nervous. But the
It's a
last
bunch of
caller
wind
just
behind you. Go ahead.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry because it's raining out here now. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The last caller, what I want to say is they really piss me off when they always try to bring in this special unicorn Black male because I recently had got into it with someone that I thought was a friend who was claiming she was divested until we had words. The bitch said, I love Black men. Nothing that they can do is going to make me not love them. And so what I found funny was when she sat there and said that, she said, oh, I've been married for 28 years. I said, bitch, I said, do you remember your failed marriage? He cheated on you the entire time. He played you. He had outside kids. You were being a mother. I said, see, when they name these fake unicorns, they don't name the bullshit that they go through with them while they're still there. They forget that. They don't name that. They just want to say, oh, he's a good man. But, bitch, you didn't name what the fuck you went through with him either. And how he left you, bitch. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the mic is just like
Okay.
really windy and that type of shit. It sounds like you in
Yeah, I
a
know,
wind
because,
tunnel.
she just really made me mad. So I didn't want to call in while I was traveling. But I just hate when they get to doing that. And as far as the passport bros, I'm blocked on TikTok because, like I tell them all the time, I say, bitch, come take the male children
It's
with you
getting
too.
worse. Egypt, it's getting a lot worse, boo. It's getting a
It
lot
is.
worse.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll leave.
It's
I'll be
all
in the
good.
chat.
Make sure you come back up here next time we up here because you got a lot to say on that, and I'd love to hear it. Truly.
I do. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Yeah, people that still arguing with niggas, they still want niggas. If you not dragging their ass as soon as you see they motherfucking ass, darling, yeah, it's not it. I'm gonna go ahead and remove you, Egypt, because I don't think your button working. Let me do this real quick so we can move on. All right, y'all. I got one more thing I want to show y'all before I engage in the tacoist of Tuesday. Now, y'all, this one right here, I'm gonna have to leave y'all the link because they say a bunch of words on here that is not YouTube friendly. It's really not. Um, I'll just tell you this much. The guy on here, he's no longer here. Okay. He took out 5 people in total. Okay. The shit was nuts. I'm gonna have to probably leave that in the because I'll be being real risque if I went on ahead and played that. I probably should not play that. So I'm gonna pin it to the comments once this live uploads, because when y'all hear the language that they're using here, it's crazy. I feel like the girl that's no longer here, his girlfriend, he killed her, the mom, the brother, and his, and see, you can't even say that up here. He took himself out. The daughter who is messing with the Dusty, her mother had done everything that she could to move her and her family away from the Blackistan bullshit. Okay. This is what I mean about tell your daughter, you don't have to be politically correct. You don't have to mess with niggas. After the mom worked so hard to get that family into a non-Blackistani situation, the daughter brought a nigga to the house. And you see what happened after that. The language is too much. So I'm going to just pin that in the comment section, but I'll show y'all this one. Wow.
Yeah, good morning to both of you. Good afternoon, rather. Those 2 men now facing a number of charges, including first-degree murder. Let's take a look at them. 22-year-old Malik Parrish and 20-year-old Abdul Ali will be making their first appearance in Cook County Bond Court in the next few hours, charged with, among other things, first-degree murder. These charges are coming nearly 8 months to the day that Nazaria Moore was shot in the head and killed on her birthday. And you might remember that Moore was in a car with...
Ladies, this 12-year-old girl got shot in the head on her birthday. And these men that you're looking at right here are the culprits of that shooting. These 2 are somebody's sons. They are. Somebody loves these 2 motherfuckers right here. Somebody does. Okay? So when you're being politically correct because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, you're really not going to get anything done. You're not. You have to tell it like it is. I couldn't imagine being 12 years old and being taken out. I can't imagine it. I think it's some sort of like omen that she got taken out on her birthday. She literally was walking and didn't have anything to do with the situation. But because of the environment that she was in, she didn't stand a chance. That's why I say, whenever you can, get the hell away from these people, because you don't even have to engage these niggas to become a victim of these niggas. These people can tell you whatever they want to about black, white men. They can. At the end of the day, they still need white men. At the end of the day, they still need white men. Even if you have violent white men out there, these black women still need white men. They do, because that's how they get in their shower and their housing and all that shit. But with the niggas being violent, there's no alternative but dick. There's no additional thing that they're getting from these niggas but dick and being abandoned. So when you measure it all out, you really have to get away from black men. Y'all got these women out here making up stories, y'all. Let's finish this part up.
With her family heading home from her birthday party when those shots were fired on March 1st at West 72nd and South Oakley and West Inglewood. She died several days later at Comer Children's Hospital. Those bullets, police say, were intended...
Look at that baby. That's a baby to me. These girls don't stand a chance out here because you got bitches out here making shit up and not being honest with these... I'm getting a little emotional. This baby, she wasn't doing anything. A lot of victims of black men aren't doing anything. They're just minding their business, trying to get a couple dollars out the ATM, trying to grocery shop, going to work and coming home and just minding their own fucking business. And you get fucked up like this. This girl here didn't even get a chance to turn into a teenager. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? This is why homegirl that came up here wasn't fixing to get nothing on that. But are you serious? Are you going to take up for a nigga after I'm showing you all of this shit? You are sick. You are sick. Okay? This girl wasn't fucking with nobody. The only wrong thing that went down is she was around niggas. Period. There's no other reason why she's no longer here. She was around niggas, and that's all it takes. When you can, save you up some money and start looking for a place to go. Get your skills up. Get your certifications, registrations, all that shit. Get it up and get the fuck away from these people. Mammies are one of the bitches. They catch as much hell from me as black men do. And when I give them hell, motherfuckers like to say that I don't like black women. Well, guess what? These aren't my sisters. They're not, because they don't give a fuck about people that's like this girl on this screen. When you take up for them, you saying that girl meant nothing. She meant absolutely nothing. And if you feel like that, fuck you. Okay? Let's go.
For a different vehicle. And today, CPD thanking several organizations in their help in finding the suspect, saying it was an anonymous tip finally that led them to these charges today.
Well, the really pivotal point is we received an anonymous witness from the community, as Sue mentioned, gave us some information, which allowed us to move forward and then build a stronger case and then work with the state's attorney's office in order to do this.
These are violent people, and their history, criminal history, shown them to be violent.
Hurry
we need
up,
to
nigga.
look at these people.
They
need to
look
be
like
held
you,
to
nigga.
the highest extent that the law allows in our court system.
Again, Parrish and Ali will be in bond court within the next few hours facing those charges. Police saying that they are also looking for a third suspect. They did not name that suspect, but say they continue to look for that third suspect. We'll have much.
He said they're headed to bond court. Okay? They're headed to bond court. With what mammies have asked for, there's a potential that the killer of that 12-year-old baby are going to be back walking the street, untethered, uncontrolled, and they don't care. Mammies don't care. So you think I give a fuck about what a mammy think about me? After everything y'all saw tonight, I want you to take a look at this last thing, and then we're going to get the fuck up out of here. This is why I can't do mammies. Y'all divest.
Okay, so I got a question that I feel like needs to be asked. Y'all don't be embarrassed to say y'all don't like black women. Like, what the fuck? Like, your mother is black, your sister is black, your cousin is black, your auntie is black, your grandma is black, your great grandma is black, your ancestors is black. So you don't be embarrassed? Like, science has even proven that people are more attracted to their own race and draw towards their own race because of similarities, right? And that's every race. But black men. Like, y'all don't be embarrassed?
And that's her question. After seeing all of this shit, even after tonight, there's going to be black women still asking for that. They don't like you. Deal with it. They don't like you. Keep fucking around. I'm headed to Discord. I love y'all. See y'all next time.
Thank you.